Hello everyone and welcome to another NASDAQ market review with Silent. We're looking at the NASDAQ September contract of 2025. This is our weekly chart. Again, we're still inside that large down close candle on the weekly chart. Price traded below this low during the beginning of the week and has begun trading higher. So we've attempted to trade below the main threshold of that weekly candle twice now. Couldn't get a close below or a wick down in the previous week. We opened up and traded lower and then has begun trading higher as a result of that main threshold and liquidity purge to the downside. The daily chart, the same daily buy-side balance we were watching in the previous video. Price closed in here, and then we opened, traded down, stayed above the constant encroachment of that buy-side balance, and then shot up higher, back towards our daily bearish order block, and in the upper quadrant of that daily sell side balance. For our chart here, same sell side balance we've been taking a look at. As we mentioned in the previous market review that I posted this afternoon, we got to rally above that structure that was inside this SIBI. So we're showing signs of the SIBI becoming a inversion level, and after this shift takes place here, we are in no hurry to drop back lower. Price respects the low that was created here on top of the weekly mean threshold. We trade above this buy-side liquidity yesterday, traded lower, and then just ripped up higher through the wick that was created. So when we're looking at a large wicks like this, especially through a large higher time frame level, if the very next candle can close above half of that wick, the expectation going forward would be to get that wick filled in. So closing above half of a wick, we're kind of expecting the high to be the drawn liquidity, and then of course something higher up that would be the drawn liquidity for a high time frame basis. This kind of phenomena that happens with wicks here is just giving you a idea of where consolidations like this can form, which would be above half of that wick if we're going to stay bullish and utilize this wick as a key level to rally from. So we stay inside the upper portion of that wick there with these bodies and this consolidation, and drop down into that buy-side imbalance on the daily chart one last time, and then I think it just barely taps the high of this SIBI. I may be mistaken, but rallies very strongly into that sell side imbalance on the 4-hour chart that I brought your attention to in the previous episode. Closed above or just at the constant encroachment of the SIBI, and then we measure the wick above there, and then we look at this on a lower time frame, but price just rallies right through that previous wick and shoots up into this imbalance here. If we're going to continue this stair-stepping effect, then I'll be expecting that buy-side liquidity to be taken. The hourly chart, we see a clean kind of market makers buy model presenting itself here. We got the liquidity up here, drops down, area of accumulation, distribution down to the south of liquidity, prices marked back up into a mitigation block and stays above the mitigation block to match the sell side of the curve with a consolidation on the buy side of the curve. Drops down into this buy side imbalance on today's price action, and which is bullish all afternoon. Again, we're going to take a look at that wick when we drop down to the 15-minute chart. So this is a 15-minute reference. We have Asia range. News was at 8:15, 8:30, and 10 o'clock. We have Asia range. Price kind of created a structure of a bullish breaker block for kind of the whole daily schematic. So the whole daily profile was a breaker block right here pretty much, and we rallied from that after sweeping Asia range low and into that buy side imbalance, as well as the daily buy side imbalance. So we have a low, high, lower low, and then the high between it is the breaker. We have our 10 o'clock reversal around time with the news release. Let's trade, let's change down to the 5-minute. So on the 5-minute, this is the open here. I want to bring your attention to this structure. This will be our breaker. For the 5-minute chart, I'm just going to make it as basic as possible and not really try and the snapshot that we're going to be looking at on the 5-minute chart, I just want it to be something that we can find in price alone and not really need anything besides what the structure is presenting to us during that profile and where is our liquidity at, or what is the target. So this is the breaker. I've marked a fib on the breaker. This is equilibrium, and this is 1 standard deviation as a target. Price creates that breaker high, sweeps down below the sell side liquidity, creates an island reversal kind of idea here with these two imbalances. So if we're having an expectation that this is going to be a breaker and our drawn liquidity for today's study would be that sell side imbalance. We are anticipating this to become a breaker, and our confirmations that we want to see to have that play into fruition is price staying above and accumulating on the upper portion of that breaker. So the only candle bodies, the only candles that tested below equilibrium of this breaker was just with wicks. Bring your attention to that buy side balance there and this bullish order block. So it's nothing extra besides just a breaker and a fib target. The problem with today's price action for me personally was that the entire day was kind of the move. So there wasn't a lot of overlapping price ranges that we could take advantage of. It was just one single giant one, and this consolidation here kind of weathered me down a little bit, but that's okay. We got a little bit peace on this rally here. Into the 1-minute chart, same levels from the 5-minute, just drop down into the 1. First presented fair value gap here, my opening range imbalance. The model didn't get entry today. Price trades back above it, and this is kind of our confirmation of needing to see price stay above equilibrium, and it just so happens that the first presentation was right at equilibrium with the soon to become breaker. So a little extra note there is the PM first presentation there, and by just in 2 o'clock we got our delivery to that fib target. Alright, so I want to thank you all for watching another episode. Hope you have enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you learned anything. I'll see you guys next time.